A mother discovers she can pull things out of hell itself, and so can her daughter. By the end of Insidious, out of the further, one of them is being drained alive by a demon cult, and a killer from the 1970s is about to get the most brutal comeuppance in the entire franchise. If you left the theater confused about what Gemma actually did to beat Cyrus, or what that post-credit scene really means, stick around because we're breaking down every twist. Insidious. Out of the Further is the 6th film in the franchise, and it takes a big swing. Instead of following the Lambert family again, it introduces a brand new lead, Gemma, a single mother and dental hygienist raising her daughter in the same house where she grew up. On the surface, it's a quiet, ordinary life, but that house has secrets, and so does Gemma's own bloodline. Gemma starts having disturbing dreams tied to her childhood, many of them circling back to her mother, who died when Gemma was young. At first, these feel like memories. Then, they start feeling like something else entirely. One nightmare traps her inside a pillow fort with no way out, and it's clear this isn't ordinary grief resurfacing. Something in that house never actually left. As the visions intensify, Gemma realizes she isn't just dreaming. She's slipping into the further, the same nightmare dimension fans of this series know all too well. But here's the twist that separates this film from every Insidious movie before it. Gemma doesn't just visit the further, she can bring things back with her. Objects, memories, and eventually entities. That ability makes her something new to this mythology, a courier. And it turns out this gift didn't start with her. It runs in her family, which reframes everything Gemma thought she knew about her mother's death. Here's the surprising part. Gemma isn't the only target. Her daughter Maya has inherited the same ability. That makes both of them extremely valuable to a man named Cyrus, a self-proclaimed psychic, who built a cult decades earlier by convincing grieving followers he could speak to their dead loved ones. In reality, Cyrus was killing people and using their deaths to fuel his own power. When police finally raided his operation back in the 1970s, Cyrus was shot dead during the confrontation, but dying didn't stop him. It just moved him into the further, where he's been trapped ever since, desperate for a way out. That's where everything changes. Cyrus realizes that Gemma, and especially Maya, could be his escape route. If he can use a living courier as a permanent bridge, he can finally pull himself and an army of trapped souls into the real world. Rewatch the film, and you'll notice Gemma's job as a dental hygienist isn't just a throwaway detail. It sets up a quietly disturbing thread involving a demonic entity connected to dentistry that stalks her throughout the movie. One Cyrus deliberately keeps on a leash. That restraint matters later. It tells you Cyrus still has some control over the things in the further, right up until the moment he doesn't. The biggest twist comes next. As the film barrels toward its climax, one of Cyrus's followers, Nick, abandons another sedated cult member to save Maya, but Cyrus intercepts him, knocks him out, and captures Maya himself. He begins using her as a living conduit, draining her to pull demons out of the further and into our world. It's one of the darkest images the franchise has ever put on screen. Elise Rainier, guiding things from beyond as always, briefly takes control of one of the cult members' bodies to physically carry Maya to safety, reuniting her with Nick and Claire. That leaves Gemma alone to finish it. She holds the door shut, trapping Cyrus and his demons inside the house, and then uses her courier power on a massive scale, transporting the entire house, demons included, back into the further. It's a clever nod to the ending of the original Poltergeist, one of this franchise's clearest influences. Once Cyrus and the demons realize they're stuck back where they started, the demons turn on him for failing to deliver the freedom he promised. Gemma escapes back to the real world and embraces Maya over what's left of the house's foundation. At its core, this is a story about inherited trauma. The original Insidious was about a father passing his unresolved connection to the further down to his son. This film flips that idea onto a mother and daughter, showing how the things we don't process don't just disappear. They get passed on to the people we love most. Gemma's mother never had the chance to explain what she was carrying, and Gemma nearly repeats that same silence with Maya before finally choosing to fight instead of hide. Some fans online have theorized that Cyrus's demonic dentist enforcer isn't a new creation at all, but a lost soul with a real, tragic backstory the film never fully explains. That's speculation for now. Nothing confirmed on screen, but it hasn't stopped the theory from spreading. As for the post-credits scene, the demons Cyrus once promised to free finally get their revenge, including that same demon dentist who corners him and turns the tables in the most darkly ironic way possible. It's a payoff to Gemma's day job running through the whole movie, and it leaves the door wide open for the further to spill into this world again. What makes this ending land is that Gemma doesn't win by becoming more powerful than Cyrus. She wins by outthinking him, using the one weakness his ambition created. That's a smarter finale than this franchise usually delivers, even if the road to get there leans on some familiar horror beats. What do you think the ending really meant? Let me know in the comments.